Ooh. Yeah, we'll start off with you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We're just getting started here. Give me a minute and we will be going live. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday afternoon and are ready for another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. We're going to be talking about RNG. Is there too much RNG in this game? Should we be complaining about it? Should the whales have the right to get more or less RNG? Man, it's going to be an interesting topic. We'll see what everybody says.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I am Blazin. I am your host for today's podcast. I'm your host for every podcast, honestly, that we have. And I'm followed today with a lot of beautiful content creators that are going to be talking about probably the biggest pain in the butt about Raid Shadow Legends, which is RNG. Before we get into that, though, let me introduce all of these beautiful content creators. In the top little red box, we've got 2024's Content Creator of the Year, Streamer of the Year. Let me rephrase that. Plarium, where is our 2025? Mr. Mr. Final Compachi. Ken, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good. Looks like somebody got no Pina. Is that correct?
What is it?
Is that correct? You said like we are going to talk about beta RNG, and I feel like
yes. Bad, but we're gonna be talking about RNG. Yes, we are.
I mean, I'm leaving, man. Like, what can we do? I opened my chart as well, no Fina, but I wasn't expecting, to be honest. Like I opened like only 11 sacred chart, some ancient chart, so it's very small to get a champion from 15x, and I was aware of that. So.
Well, all we could do is, bust out the credit card and keep trying. That's exactly what Plurihan's going to tell us, right?
I cannot do that one. So.
And next up, the guy who decided to take a vacation from us and say, listen, Raid, I'm going away for the weekend. I'm going to go try a different casino. Mr. Gestel Gaming. Gestel, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Glad to be back, man. Vegas was hot, 114 degrees, man. It was blazing there, you could say. But we were, I did pull 25 sacreds on Friday, one Lego, not Fina. It was a rough pull.
Oh boy.
Rough session.
Ouch. All right. Next up, all the way from Texas, the dab master himself, Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, what is going on, brother? How are you?
I am doing just fine, just fantastic. Did a little of the Gotti 40 Alpha Wave 2.
Ooh, very nice.
Fun. And then I am a sucker. Well, not a sucker, but I don't know why I like these games, but I do. But I got a free key to Tobacco Shop Simulator. And that
Tobacco Shop Simulator?
Yeah, it's basically Game Shop Simulator that I know PJ's played. Card game, trading card game simulator, but it's tobacco. Yeah, so I'm selling stuff to virtual degenerates to get them nicotine attacked or whatever, addicted. It's fun.
Okay. That's interesting. I will say I have been playing Godforge and I have been enjoying it this beta more than the last one. I've actually spent a pretty solid amount of time on it over Raid, to be quite honest, guys. Which could be a little bit of a problem. Next up, we got our five-headed thinker, Mr. JR Sir 3. Jay, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. Great to be here, especially with this topic. Just been, building out the doggo, just enjoying Throat Ripper, and of course, other games as well.
All right. And last but not least, we've got my favorite late night low spend streamer, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what is going on, sir? How are you?
Doing good. Watched some UFC last night. Some pretty good fights, really good fights. Pulled for Fina. My luck's been really bad, so I was hoping it would change, and it actually did. We actually got Fina.
Oh, snap. Congrats.
Yeah,
nice.
Thank you. Did 110 ancients, and I pulled an Alton and Fina in the same 10 pull. And then I pulled 5 sacreds, and I pulled another Alton. So that was kind of funny. But we got Fina, so that's all that mattered. So I can't wait to test her out, try her in all the different areas, and yeah, very, very excited.
The question now is, you don't have Trunda, but you have Titus. So are you going to be doing like an hour and a half Titus key?
No, I do have Trunda.
Oh, okay. So are you going to be doing a 2-hour Trunda key then?
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. He's going to end up doing what basically one of the guys in my clan right now, he is, and big shout out to him, Dingo, on our Hydra Clash. First of all, Bronco destroying everything. But this guy's got a Trunda key, another Trunda key, and now running a Titus key. So he is spending literally like 4 hours minimum running Hydra. So big shout out to Dingo in the clan. Huge contributor. All right, let's get into today's topic. We got a couple of things to discuss. Number one, I want to kind of go through this Orcs Path event. We were anticipating that it was going to be Soul Stones. Obviously, we were wrong. We are going for artifacts and summoning events. Who is going for this, and how hard are you going? Are you going for both, or are you just going for the Packmaster or the Soul? Ken, what are you doing, bro?
Like I expected, I said that like there's gonna be like pet event, there's gonna be pet master. I mean not pet master, pig master, and the Doggo Soul. Obviously, like we was thinking maybe they are going to put their soul because last we got the 2x Soul Stone and the Soul Stone event, right? It will be Plarium move, but to be honest, I'm shocked about this pet event. It was cheaper. Like I mean, I believe the soul is only costing like 15 sacred. And the champion itself is 17 sacred. You know, we get used to it like 20 sacred for this kind of stuff. They make it easier. Maybe they make it easier because people who doesn't play the game back in the day, or the people who skip the fusion, Pickmaster was a fusion. So maybe Plarium want to give them opportunity to grab both of them, right? Obviously, still going to be expensive. Don't get me wrong. And,
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
By the way,
it
I
is.
see some counterattack view about this pet event. They said like you only need to open like 17 secret to get Packmaster, right? But
Yep.
if you do his fusion back in the day, you need to spend more resources to get him. Again,
That
this
is
some
true.
counterattack view from some people are actually angry. I don't mind, to be honest. But yeah, short in terms, I go for the soul because I got the Packmaster back in the day. And I tried him today in the... Actually, I tried him yesterday and today on my Hydra comp. And the Orc faction, dude, he's crazy. He's crazy. I just give him like 0 speed. That's crazy. It's very good. Especially Orc faction war. Man, he's make it so simple.
So I was not planning on going for him because I was like, you know what? I might just go for the soul and just wait to pull him because my account is blessed with pulling fusions as an RNG type of situation, right? I don't get new champions that often. But because I feel like Orc Faction Wars 21, the Void Boss is just too freaking OP'd. I'm like, I gotta bring this guy. I gotta have him. I'm trying to get everything I can to get a full auto team. I've got auto teams almost in every single dungeon except for Orcs and Orgrin Tribe. Orgrin Tribe is just the killer right now. But all right, let's go to Jay next. Jay, what about you? Are you going for this path event?
Yeah, I already got the soul. I thought about getting the +1 check, but it's just too much resources, man. I've been saving since the fragment summon was announced. I've been saving since then, so it was easy. I haven't spent on the raid like 7 days. So I'm trying to go on free to play now completely because we're gonna talk about more stuff here on this episode. But like, I just saved my sacreds, I saved my ancients, and it was easy. I got everything done. I'm doing a little bit of dragon, a little bit of spider because of the tournaments that are going on, right? And man, he is crazy insane. Like the amount of damage you can do, even with negative affinity, right? Like I would use the A3 against a UDK one A3 removes the stone skin, the other A3 one shots UDK. It is actually crazy. I see a lot of people building this champion speed. There's no reason to. You can build them like UDK, slow in stone skin, get yourself like 9-10k attack, tons of crit damage, no accuracy needed, no resistance, no HP defense, just 3 stats basically, and just destroy everything. I've been using it in live arena, destroying mythicals. It's amazing. You get locked out, doesn't matter. A1 kills everybody. It's amazing.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I haven't pulled mine yet. I'm saving it. Although I may now be tempted to, right? I'm excited to see what I can do with him. Next up, let's go to the Dab Master himself, Zero Brew.
Yeah, so I haven't pulled him yet out of the situation. Of course, we went for the dog. We did do Shayak, and I want to give Plarium a shout out for this. They actually, while it took them a whole year to give us a partner companion, they did kind of drop breadcrumbs or hints when they announced Packmaster at the time. And I know a lot of people did build him as kind of like a hex situation, and then they nerfed with the whole Trunda thing and Hydra, and then he basically became irrelevant. But now, Shayak or Packmaster is relevant with the doggo. So yeah, and then of course, I think everybody, if they still have time and they weren't going for the soul, do what you can do to go get the soul. Again, I'm not advocating for anybody to spend money if they can't or don't need to or don't want to, but getting a nuker of this caliber, as we're saying, is probably what, a top 5 Hydra damage dealer outside of Titus and Trunda and a couple others, maybe Ninja, Mikage. And actually, I heard that maybe this dog can outdamage Ninja comps in Hydra as well. So yeah, so we're gonna go for the soul. I'm almost there. I've been doing the a little bit of the dungeon divers we pulled Friday night. No luck. Not like PJ. We didn't get the luck. Although he got, I don't know, he got Fina, but 2 all-10s back to back. That sounds like I don't know.
Well,
he needs a buff.
So I was planning on, because I'm literally right now I'm at the point where I just need enough for the Soul Stone, and so I'm gonna go in and finish Dragon, just to get the what's it called, the mythical book here. I don't think I'm gonna go for the 6-star Ramontu Soul, which we'll touch up on that on just a second. But I feel like for me, instead of buying shards, I may just be better off buying this right here, because I bought one, and I do have a little bit of there was a discount if you go through Google Play, where if you have like the Play app sign up, I think it's like $5 a month, you actually save like $5 a week. So this came in at like, $5 for the one that I bought to get Packmaster, but I think I might buy the other 3 here and then talk about, and then, maybe burn the rest of the gems and energy and stuff. But I don't see myself buying shards for any of this event. Mr. Gestel, what about you? Are you going for this event?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I pulled 25 Sacreds. I was initially just going for the Soul. And I already have Shaik. Actually, I think I have 2 of them. So I guess I could maybe go for a +2. I don't know. I don't think it's worth. But I got the Soul, and then I only pulled 1 on the first whatever it was, 15. I only pulled 1, so I was like, whatever. I got 10 left. Let's go. Pull the other 10, which enabled me to get the Mythic book. Because finally, after I don't know, everyone's had Embry for 4 or 5 months, I finally just got them.
Nice.
So I need Mythic books. So I grabbed that one Mythic book.
Nice.
And I'll probably grab this one on the champ training as well. So really, I was just hoping for Fina. Would be huge help for my high elves, because that's pretty much my only faction I'm struggling in. And but just she's such a great champ all around. Like, I would have really loved to have her.
I don't know.
I just went all in on her and failed.
I don't know why High Elves seems to be so much more difficult for everybody, because I think for myself, that was probably one of the easier ones. And I think the big thing with that one was I did my what is he? I mean, I do have Wallmaster in my full auto team. But to beat it the first time, I didn't use them. I did use Ethos, and second wave does suck. But
Here's my problem.
Tatura came in pretty strong with a protection set because of the fear.
Yeah, I may have to. I think that might be the answer is Tatura, but I'm actually stuck on the floor after the second boss. What is that, 15 or 16? On the third
15.
wave, it's
stone
the
skin?
dwarves.
Yeah.
Yes, the dwarves. And I'll go there with all abilities ready, all ready to take out the stupid freaking wave. Oh, and go ahead, Torm, and freeze my stupid damage dealer and shut it all down. And I don't know, that's only happened maybe 100 freaking times. So I've been stuck on that. I'm not really. I guess Tattera would be the only way around that to get the block buffs up. But
So Tatura was for the bosses was definitely one of the strongest ones that I used. Goes in with the protection set, block debuffs, right? Increased defense, and the veil definitely helped. So, and then I want to find out from you guys, are you going for this event or not? PJ, what about you, brother?
So I was initially debating if I want to go for the soul or not, because it's just gonna be for faction wars, I think, for me mostly, maybe Hydra, but I figured I could buy the soul. You don't really need the 5-star, it's really like the 4-star you're looking for. But then I saw that they're doing a final progression, so I was like, okay, I really want final. We'll pull for that and then get like some bonus stuff. So I went for the soul. But bless you, I think, or maybe you're he's dying. Sorry, exposing you. But I wanted to give some props and credit to Polarium here. I think most people expecting 40 total, 20 for each, like they did with Balar and what they did with Podreg. At least that's what I was expecting. So for him to be 17 and like 15, I thought was really, really good. Excuse me, now you got me coughing too. And I also thought that it was nice that there was no keys. There's no extra bullshit here. You didn't have to go down and go get the key to go down and get what you actually wanted. It was just straightforward, left to right. Yeah, so I thought it was a great overall win. I didn't hear about that point Ken said, that people were upset that it was cheaper now than it was back then to do the actual fusion. I guess that's interesting, but I don't know. I don't really see that as a bad thing. If you want another one, here you go, get another one for cheaper.
I mean,
Like,
how can people complain about
Yeah.
things being easier? Like
Yeah, I
that's
don't
the most
know.
asinine thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard.
Right.
so-
Well,
Oh
I mean,
no, we didn't get bent over the rails this
That's
time.
hard.
Yeah, next time give it to us harder. No lube. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if we were getting, and I think that this is definitely a subject we could have, more guaranteed legendary events, I think a lot more of the people would be happier with this kind of situation. But the thing is, they are right, because a typical fusion will cost you about 20 sacreds if you're just going for sacreds, right? And that's besides the fact that the energy, the time, and
20
everything else you got to
sacreds?
spend. Yeah, bro.
For a fusion?
Depending on the type of fusion, yeah. Yeah, because if you think about it, right, what's a typical summon rush? You're using 6 to 7 sacreds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about a summon champ chase?
I mean, like, hopefully no one's using sacreds during champion chase.
But if it's a 2x and, you know, you're not getting anything and the points are set at what? I think average is 1,500 for one and then 2,500 for the other one?
I never use 2x. I never use sacreds during champion chase.
But I mean, it can add up. It can add up. And that's especially...
Do it.
Well, you don't really have a choice on the fact that if, you know, Plarium decides to do a 2x sacreds on that summoning
You
event
do.
or that fusion.
You save remnants, you save prism. If
Yeah. The thing is we some players want to play Raid Shadow Legends, not Wait Shadow Legends. So, and I get what you're saying.
If you want to do that, then yeah, switch sacreds fusion. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I get you. But you know, sometimes it's just better off to just say the hell with it. And you know, might not be the most efficient way, but it's at least playing the game and enjoying the game, right? Which is going to bring us into a little bit down the line here on the RNG and the enjoyment of the game. And last but not least, I want to find out from you guys, Who of you is going for this champion training tournament for the 6-star Ramantu Soul? I don't think that they've done a 6-star before. I think this is the first time they did the 6-star, right? Or was Ninja a 6-star? Ninja was a 6-star? Lydia too?
Yeah.
How many of you are going for the 6-star? Gestel?
Oh man, I just looked at it and there are 3 people at like 25, 26, and 29. My guess is they're gonna be fighting, but if they're not gonna push much higher than that, I will gladly take it for like 40 or 50. Because I have 1,000 5-star chicken just sitting there. So I guess if I want to win it, I could win it. not to sound like I'm like some big ego here. I just have nothing else to do during champ training and have an insane amount of food just sitting there. So like these tournaments, like if I want to take the time to win them, I can win them. Especially now that they have auto upgrade and all the other stuff. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just time consuming is really what it comes down to. Do I want to sit there and take the time to win it? Romantic is freaking cool, man. I like him, but I don't really use them, so I don't know if it's worth it.
They, a particular content creator came out with a video, shout out to Cruisin', with Ramantu being for the Titus team. And all of a sudden, guys, we got a 6-star. I think, Plarium's kind of watching things and saying, okay, you know what, one way or another, they're either going to use it for that or they're going to use it for Faction Wars. So yeah. Next up, let me ask Ken, are you going for this?
By the way, before we started, probably saying when you talk, your sound is louder than rest of us. So
yeah, I tried to turn that down. I'm hoping, is that better, guys? Let me know. I turned down the output a little bit on my end.
I'm not going for it, man. Like the only way I will go, to be honest, like if nobody else is pushing, like nobody else, then I was thinking, but there's a guy with the 24k already on my leader, so I'm not. Romant is not really that worth it, to be honest. And this kind of soul event is, I mean, you can buy them slowly. Like, I don't know, like, I'd rather save my resources for the guarantee champion if they do, like, juicy something in the future.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
No, I avoid events like this. It just drains stuff. You should always be prepared for something else. So Ramanto is good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm waiting for other things.
Okay. PJ? You're muted.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. No, I'm not going for it unless like they're already at 36,000, so I'm chilling. I'm gonna get the points on the right side, get the mythical book, and yeah, let them have fun.
Okay. Zero, what about yourself?
Yeah, probably not. Again, getting that 6-star would be amazing, but I attempted to do the Titus one and got up to like 48,000 or something like that and got sniped by someone that wasn't even in the running. On the last one, that just kind of burned all my resources for nothing, and B kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So yeah, I think I'll just let other people go for this. And again, it's like a timing thing for us. It's like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning for the reset. And it's like, okay, how can I watch this? Am I going to really set my alarm on a work day to get up at 4 in the morning just to verify I'm not getting sniped or whatever? So yeah, I'm gonna skip this one.
Okay.
These events are so stressful. Have you ever done them? Chad, have you guys ever done them? So stressful. You can have 30,000 lead and you're still like, oh my god, like gotta do a few points let them know I'm still awake.
Yeah.
Like they're not sniping me.
Yeah, and then like this one is using skill tomes and stuff like that. So if someone's got 100 legendary books just ready to go, like they could snipe you in a second.
Yeah. I guarantee you guys, all these guys that are on the panel that said they're not going for it, watch them next week's podcast when I ask them if they went for it or not. They're going to say, oh yeah, totally. I ripped on him last second. I just sniped it out. Uh,
I have to
Well, I'm
leave it
sorry.
easy. You can't let someone take it for 22,000, Blazing, bro. If that's
That's
the
true.
winning, you're telling me you're not gonna win that? No way, someone winning with 22,000 in a group.
Well, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did last time. Someone was at like 20 something thousand. All right, cool. Well, I'll push up to 48,000, double your number. And then someone that wasn't even in the running said,
No
"Yep,
snap.
nope, that's mine."
That was
Yeah.
that wasn't enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, guys. I'm not gonna go for it. I'm not gonna go for it. And the next week, oh yeah, the Monty 6-star soul. Yeah, of course, guaranteed. Why not?
Souls are so good though, man. They're impossible to get.
It is. It is. It is, man. All right.
Especially
So
if
we'll find out what these guys did next week, and then we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the RNG in Raid Shadow Legends. First of all, I want to find out from you guys, are you a fan of RNG or not? Chat, let me know. And I want to find out from Mr. Gestel first. Do you like RNG or no?
it's like, do you like getting kicked in the nuts? Like, nah, not really, bro. But it happens sometimes. Like RNG is the 3% crit rate. I don't understand it. I don't like. There's certain RNG aspects of the game that make sense. As much as I don't
Okay.
like them, I
3%
think that makes
resist,
sense.
not crit.
Yeah.
Right?
3% crit rate doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand, like, why, like, you're aiming for 100%, but you're still gonna have that 3% chance. All right, it's just a crit, not the end of the world, but it's just weird. I don't really understand that one. Yeah, RNG makes me cry all the time though, like especially in live arena. You know, someone has, I don't know, a 5-star sheep on the other team. What's that, a 15% chance of getting sheeped? Gizzy goes out there, guess what? Gizzy's getting sheeped. Like it's I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. RNG on the negative side just seems to float over the old head of live arena whenever I'm in there. So like I'll cry about RNG all the time, and then I'll be thrilled when RNG helps me out, right? When someone gets sheeped, against me, or wanded against me, whatever it is. So it sucks. RNG sucks. I think in some aspects I understand it. You've got to bring a little bit of randomness to the game. You've got to give the little guy a shot. If I'm going up against a huge account, Cartman or whatever, like
Yeah.
it's nice to get a little RNG help there, right? So like I understand it, but it's super frustrating.
Okay. So RNG is great when it's in your favor, but when it's not in your favor, you're like, fuck that shit.
100%.
PJ, what about you, man? Do you like RNG?
I like it when it's going in my favor.
Of course. Chat saying the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, of course. It's a weird kind of thing because it's supposed to be like, okay, it's every 1 out of 10 or whatever, but sometimes it can be like, okay, it's happening every single time. Like, how is this possible? Or like my shard pulled. There's hundreds of legendaries in this game. I pulled an Alton, Fina, and then I pulled another Alton. Like how? Like that's crazy RNG to get 2 of the same champions. So, I mean, like.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, the last pull session I did, I got 2 Harimas within 5 shards of
like
each other.
How is that possible? Like that should not be, like the odds of that are insane. So I mean, I guess that's another underlining topic of like, are there like polls of like secret, I don't know, like hidden like seeds and stuff behind the accounts. But yeah, I mean RNG, you kind of have to have it in some parts of the game, but I feel like they could remove it in some aspects of the game as well. I think they like rely too much on RNG kind of for some things, especially like what Gessel said about like the 3%. Like they could I get it in PvP getting 3%, like a 3% like 1 in a million chance of like beating something that you shouldn't beat. But when you're doing those long Hydra fights, those long Chimera fights, and you get 3%ed on the Viper form, and Lydia doesn't land the block actives, and you just get wiped, like that is so frustrating. And she's a void champion. Like you could give her a billion accuracy and still she could get resisted. Like that's just so like frustrating sometimes.
Or when you're writing your Titus key, and for 4 Hydra runs in a row, Titus is the second one to get devoured every single time. It's like, seriously?
Random. And it's
Exactly.
every time him. Like, yeah, I've done that too. Last week it was like 5 times in a row was Titus. I'm like, what the hell?
Dude, I ran my key, right? And at one point, I just said, you know what? Screw this, because I literally ran 6 runs, okay? 30 minutes into the run, and I'm getting him as like my 3rd or 4th champion. I'm like, you know what? Forget this. I'm done. But like the first 3 runs were second turn in, I would just automatically restart. Zero, what about yourself?
Yeah, so the original question I think was, do you just like RNG in general,
Correct.
like in games and stuff? So I will say I am very much opposed to the RNG aspect of things. And where this hit me the most, and where I realized chance was such a crappy thing to, again, like guess I'll say, kick you in the nether region, right? Was I was playing Risk, and this was, I don't know, I was a teenager, whatever. I was playing Risk for the first time, and I had a smorgasbord of an army doing an invasion against a opposing thing. If anybody's played the game of Risk, and I had easily double the amount of troops. And I go to roll, the 20 dice or whatever I'm going to go roll, and I got ones and twos, ones and twos, ones and twos, ones and twos. And then this dude had, 10 or 9 people, and he goes and rolls. He's all 5s and 6s, 5s and 6s, 5s and 6s, and just smokes my double the size army. And I'm like, okay, in reality, this will not happen this way, right? If I brought twice the army, I would smack you into the dirt, just based on attrition alone, right? So I've never been a fan of RNG. And then in terms of this game, yeah, I'll just say, just because we all already kind of touched on this, but the relics and all that stuff just made things a lot worse. But we'll go in more in depth on that in a minute. But yeah, RNG in general, don't like it.
Okay. Let's see. Jay, what about you?
When it comes to RNG, a lot of games, especially old school games, calculated damage based on RNG. So RNG has been, with us for a long time. Doesn't matter if it's an RPG or turn-based game, or maybe some real-time strategy. Might have some extra little things, but I don't hate it. I think it depends on the game, because some games have, I guess, quotations, fair RNG, where you can mitigate and reduce what like let's first say a card game, right? Some games, like cards, you can use to flip a coin or play rock paper scissors or things like that. You don't have to play those cards, right? You don't have to use those strategies. You could use more of a non RNG deck. But when the game's all derived around that, and they stack RNG on top of RNG on top of, that's when you're like, dang. If it's more in the player's favor instead of the house, right? Then you're like, all right, cool, I can kind of win against this, and maybe it's not that. But it's all on the house, and you're just like, oh man, I'm getting 1s and 2s. It doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't give you that dopamine. So, yeah, I would say RNG was pretty good back then, but I guess now as we go closer into the future, and with new games and new types of systems, right, in video games, or just like in other things as well, even card games, right? They've reduced. There's a lot of power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. I still play Pokemon a little bit, and you start to see it. You start things change. They, like, instead of being RNG of like this will happen, it's more like they put a requirement, like, oh, I need this to do this, instead of letting it just RNG a card and see if you get a 50-50. So yeah, overall, I like it as long as it's not abused. Like, it's not just everything. Like, I used to play Hearthstone. I had to stop because it was too much RNG. It was just too cancer.
Okay. What kind of RNG would you guys say, chat, if you, in 3 months of playing, pulled Armok 5 times? So you have just basically every single summoning event, you've pulled this guy for the last 3 months. Ken, what about you, man? Are you a fan of RNG?
I mean, RNG is kind of needed to, it's not because of I'm a fan of it or not, but like if everybody got like whatever champion they want, it wasn't be fun, I mean, obviously it's fun when you pull them what you want, but at the same time, not everybody can do that, right?
Right.
So And you cannot be selfish there. Like RNG only gonna be work for me, but rest of you should be suffer, you know. But there is one RNG I really don't understand. 3% RNG. Like we the skill description saying like after we book, most likely it's saying like 100%. Like it's not 100%. Either change that to 97%, so that's never gonna be like 100%, unless it's like cannot be resisted skill, or just change it. I just hate 3%, man. That's that's the only one I'm hating. Like rest of the RNG kinda need it, man.
No, none of this is scripted. These guys don't even get to find out what we talk about until the podcast starts. They're just as blind as you guys are.
Dude, we
mostly
shoot from the
because,
hip.
yeah, exactly. Mostly because I want the real raw reaction, right? So they don't really get a heads up unless there's going to be a difficult conversation coming up. But so I think RNG is needed to a certain extent, right? RNG is needed in some of the champions that we pull, especially in raid, and some of the gear that we get, right? Because obviously we want to chase the next big thing. We want to chase, the better gear. RNG should not be in the gameplay itself, though. I think that's kind of where I would say I fit on how the RNG element should be in this game. The 3% total fact on anything that could happen in the game, I think, just as you guys are saying, is complete crap. It makes it very challenging, and also you feel bummed. Again, like when I'm trying to do a max key on my tightest key, I literally spent 4 hours trying to go for it. And every single time, whether it was second rotation or third rotation, and he would get devoured. And it just, at one point, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this. I just felt discouraged, right? Do you guys, when RNG, especially in game modes like Hydra or Chimera or any of the other dungeons, when you're trying to build these things, do you feel discouraged at one point to just say, you know what, I'm done with this. This is all I'm getting. I'm not going to try to push any further. Gestel.
Wait, what was push further on what?
So when you try, in the RNG element of dungeons, of Chimera, of because for things that we know like Clan Boss, there's not a lot of RNG there, other than if you're going to land your debuffs and not. But in the whole aspect of everything else for Chimera and dungeons and stuff like that, do you get discouraged at some point because of the RNG element in there and say, you know what, screw this, I'm done, this is all I'm going to do?
Yeah, I would say kind of the two examples I have of that fairly recently are definitely Cursed City. Those couple and the couple that you need to like land stuns in the up in the at the end, the last couple stages.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give up on those real quick. If I don't get through them, I'll just give up on them. I would love to get those 1,000 extra things a month and whatever, but I give up on that plenty. And I've given up on I wouldn't say I've given up on it, but I've stopped doing a couple of the faction mode hard modes recently because I just don't want to deal with the RNG, like the Torment one I was talking about the other day. Like I feel like that's happened to me a million times. Obviously it hasn't, but like it's happened damn near every time I've gone to that final phase 3 or of with the dwarves, and I get frozen the moment I try to attack. So it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do.
Okay. PJ, what about you, man? Because you are really like Hydra focused and PvE content focused. Do you get discouraged at some point and say, you know what, screw this, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah, I try not to get to that point. If it is like that, I'll try to. Well, hopefully it's like not the last day, and I can just come back to do it the next day. Because I feel like some days it's just like a bad RNG day. I'll just try to run it, just can't get it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just try to come back tomorrow, and then next day, like the first run, it goes perfect. So I'll try to do stuff like that. But no, it definitely can be very frustrating, especially for hard faction wars. Like Gessel said, depending on if like the day and if I'm in the mood, I'm like, screw it, I just do a lower stage. I can't be asked to like manual the 21 if it's like a really annoying one. Especially the Armenian God, I saw him put one in the comments, but I think this is a great example. Is the mirror boss in Faction Wars Hard, the purple boss that
Yep.
all your debuffs and buffs swap whenever you put them on or get do buffs. Like that is just crazy RNG. That one is the worst. That needs to be immediately looked at by Polarium and changed. But
agree.
that is super frustrating. Probably even more than the Hydra Chimera, because that's like 3% RNG, but the
30.
Faction boss is like 30%. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just that is very frustrating.
I want to ask Shaq, because I'm gonna get to you guys in a minute here, but if RNG was to be reduced or eliminated in PvE game modes, not PvP game modes, A, would you want it eliminated? And B, if they were to lower it down, to what should they lower it to? Zero, what about you, man? What do you think? Do you get discouraged?
Well, yeah, so I definitely get discouraged. I think, and it never fails to when I'm like on a wild like time crunch too.
Really good
it's like,
run
oh,
too,
this is
right?
my-
It happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I need this to be done. I need this to be over with. I need to move on. And I do have that overarching like I don't know if it's FOMO, if that's the right thing, but like completionist mentality, and it gets extremely frustrating. It's like, why can't I play your stupid game because you've made it so ridiculously hard? Yeah, I think the other thing, so I just to make a few comments just in relation to this, I think what JR said was great, because like even old school Dungeons and Dragons, like it's a lot of games are built on this. Go ahead and give DeCurse a shout out.
Big shout out to DeCurse for the raid of 23. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I like some of the RNG aspects of like, hey, this is the range that this champion can do, and you roll a dice or whatever, and you get some RNG. I think it's when you start just stacking in, and someone else said this earlier, is when you start stacking in. You know, you got the 3% here, you got the 30% here, you got the this person's been feared or true feared, and then they have an RNG shot of being able to do their skills, and then their skills go on cooldown, and it's like. You start stacking all these things on top of it, and then now we've got relics in the game. That part is extremely frustrating, and it's like, it doesn't matter how good your champions are, if you get that several, the unlucky streak, if you will, you're screwed, and it's very frustrating. So yeah, if they were to reduce it some in PvE, I think that would be awesome, or maybe not look at mechanics. Any more mechanics that adds another layer of RNG, because Faction Wars Hard is the most absurd thing. Not to mention their stats are absurd, and they basically didn't even account for having better stats out of Great Hall. They said, "Oh, you got to get Great Hall minimum," and for the affinity bonuses. And by the way, we're still going to smack you around with a bunch of RNG.
Right.
So that's tough.
I guess my bigger thing here, because, and I don't want to really home in on PvP content, because I feel like there should be a little bit of element there, but we spend so much damn money on energy, on resources to progress our accounts, right? Because yes, Arena can technically progress your account through the Great Hall a little bit, but in areas like dungeons where we need either the silver or we need the piece of gear, and I feel again the gear should stay randomized to where it is. But just the success of the run, I don't feel should be RNG'd, especially again, because we spend money on resources, we spend gems, one way or another, we're looking to progress the account, not kind of get destroyed, right? Jay, what about you?
I try to not let I try not to stack RNG a lot. It doesn't really affect me because I try to have fun, in raid. Some people take it more serious, right? Maybe because their clan is higher up, or maybe because they're trying to compete in arena, or they're just trying to see who has the bigger testicles. Oh, you got 10 mythicals, I need 11, right? So people stress themselves over things like that. Not me. I just try to have fun. Me, I help people get their Mariuses, right? I still don't have Marius myself, and I don't care. because I beat people with Timmy, I beat people with the dog. To me, I don't stress myself over doing certain things like gotta get a billion in Hydra. Nope, I get a full auto, I walk away. For me, I just try not to stress out when it comes to anything that Raid does. I just try to enjoy the game as best as I can, and then if anything else, I try to stack the enjoyment with that. But it's kind of hard. It is kind of hard, but because it's a lot of part-time job work when you play Raid.
Well, let's face it. I think one of the biggest complaints everybody has is that Raid is not a part-time job; it's a full-time job. More than your full-time job is a full-time job, right? Which will definitely go ahead.
No, I was just going to add to what JR just said, and he's definitely the five-headed thinker this stream. But yeah, that's kind of the point I was going to say. Like, when I'm trying to have fun and get stuff done and get stuff taken care of, and the RNG hits me in the face like a brick wall and it takes the fun away from me, that's when RNG is bad for me personally. So I think JR just said it perfectly, and that's my frustration.
Right. Yeah. So Ken, what about you, man? Do you get frustrated with the RNG and PvE content?
I mean, of course, but whenever I build my team, I like to lower my chance as much as possible because of the RNG. If there is like very risky comp, like I don't know how risky is the Trando comp or the Titus comp. You guys maybe can enlighten me there, but I try to just dodge that. Like if your champion got 3% shield remove or stuff like that, you need to restart. I'm like, oh man, my team should be handle the position even the 3% happen, because 3% gonna happen. Like I don't want to lose my time. It's too much time costing, to be honest. Like because of for example my Chimera team, Chimera also have a loss of the RNG, right? And I actually built my champion in the loss of cooldown reset gear. Like 3 of my champion on my Chimera team has a cooldown reset gear, and if my debuff didn't landed, or let's say like my champion died because of some stupid RNG, boss hit quite hard, I can revive, and I can revive again maybe because my Duchess in the reflex, impulse, stuff like that. There's a high chance she can get her cooldown pretty often, pretty quickly. So, and obviously nobody build an RNG comp on the farming dungeon gear, right? Nobody is want 70% success rate on the dungeon team, right? That's why most of the people hate the previous event dungeon, because previous event dungeon was quite difficult. And some people actually, it's not that big problem probably on these days now, but beginning of the game, or the back in the day, we wasn't to build a comp with the Lydia, right? Because Lydia has a 3% chance. So if you have Ghostborn, which is his decreased defense cannot resist that, people was using their Seer comp with the Ghostborn instead of the Lydia. I was one of them. Obviously today we are not really using Seer anymore, but maybe mid game people still have the same problem. So
I use my Seer in almost everywhere in Doom Tower. I still use her in, what is it, Ice Golem, right? Because she still has the best wave clear. So, but okay, so you kind of
Can
embrace.
I say something else?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, in chat I see some comments about there's a difference between people having bad gear and saying it's RNG, and 3% versus actually 3% RNG. I'm talking about my Lydia is 9-piece Feral, 500 accuracy with mirrors on the team, increased accuracy in Nightmare and resisting stuff. That's not a bad build. That's plenty of accuracy.
Right.
But again, there are people out there that do blame bad builds on RNG. So there is definitely a difference there. I don't want people to I think that is a good point. People just say oh they're not good at the game, but they're just it's just bad RNG because that's why it's not working. So that is a good point.
And an example would be that Fire Knight team that I was just running. It's literally 100%, except when I get 3% at RNG, I will get that one bad run. I'm like, wait, what? And it'll be because one of the G nuts just didn't hit Phantom Touch, or because I try to make it depending that I don't need the freeze on the A1, but if it happens, it happens. So I feel like the RNG element for PvE content especially should be removed. My runs, again, my biggest argument for that would be is because we pay for the energy. We pay for it, whether it's with money, whether it's with time, whether it's with our gems. And I think for that, I think Plarium really should go ahead and take that out of there. Would you guys agree with that? Ken?
I mean, PV content, maybe, yeah. At least the 30%. They need to get rid of the 30%.
Okay. Chat, what about you guys? Would you agree that for PvE content, just PvE content, they should remove the 3%? On, again, the game itself. So not on the gear. I'm not saying remove any RNG element on the gear, just on if I'm going to land a specific debuff or buff or a specific ability. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. I think the game has just progressed so much. So again, taking one layer off of that RNG and take some of that frustration off, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Sell the forge flash for 3% less. I don't think they're going to do that. Jay, what about you? Would you support that?
I mean, yeah, I want 3% or RNG basically removed from PvE, but it looks like it's up to the developers as well. As you can tell, like now in Raid, we have a lot of things that are unresistible, right? Compared to back in the days, we only had increased accuracy, which wasn't enough. So I think it's just when it comes to a game, it just depends on the system that the developers or the company wants to focus around, you know. But in general, it'd be better, right? There's other games too that have worse, actually. I don't know if you guys knew, but 3% is not that big when other games actually have 10 to 15% to get resisted. But their game mechanics are a little bit different as well, right? Like, for instance, if you pay 20 energy in Raid and you lose a battle, you lose the whole energy. There's no like, hey
Right.
man, sorry, here's 50% back because you lost a battle or something. Other games are like, hey, we give you 90%, but our RNG is a little bit higher, but they give you back more because you lost a battle because there might have been RNG. So little things like that, I think they could look into maybe, you know, because they have so much RNG in Raid, they could look into. Me, general, yeah, I think PvE should be gone. Should be gone. But in PvP, for people who say it is annoying, hear me out. There's a lot of people who spend money in Raid, and or just in games in general, right? Mobile games. It's nice when it sucks as well, but it's important to keep a balance. If somebody who doesn't spend at all free to play and someone who spends thousands, and this person is trying to use a strategy that's RNG, like let's say negative affinity, right? I use a lot of Force champions against a lot of magic mythicals. I don't have a lot of mythicals. So I use Harima, I use Timid because there's stronger affinity against these, against stronger affinity against these champions. And it helps me. That little bit of RNG gives me the edge over someone who's 5-star Lazarius or Empress, right? Like it just helps. And that's why RNG and PvP, I think, should stay. Even though it's annoying, they just have to balance out relics and all these other things that are happening. But there should always be that option as a player to look at the different situations, like what are they using? Cavlax? Okay, I'm going to use Freya or someone hide resist with cleanse, right? Like or Stoneskin, right? Someone in Stoneskin to cleanse to help out different situations. But in PvE, I think it's just honestly a dick move. Like it's just the company going, well, we want to get your money in RNG, now you got to spend more. Like it doesn't make sense. It's especially now in Raid after 6.5 years.
Okay. Gessel, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when we started talking about this, the 3% was the first thing I brought up, and yeah, it really boggles my mind. I guess it made sense early on when there wasn't like a tremendous amount of champs. Maybe they just really needed that element to bring something else to the game. But now that there's just so much variety of champs, skills, buffs, debuffs, whatever the heck else is going on, I don't really feel like you need it anymore, especially PvE. PvP, like I said, like it that does provide the little man a chance. You know, it happens when I'm the bigger account, you know, and the little account happens to me. And it's happened, you know, it happens, you know, negative and positive on both sides, obviously. But it just, like, I beat, who'd I beat? Doc the other day, beat Doc Moreau the other day. Just feels good, man. It just feels good when you
Just
beat one
feels
of those
good.
big accounts, right? So, you know, PvP, keep it, whatever. We've all gotten used to it. I think what Jay just said. I think, and kind of what everybody's been saying. It is like, it is really. I feel like it's just a way to grab your money, right? It's just a way
Right.
to grab the energy from you. You know, I've been playing a lot of. I did a sponsorship for Watcher Realms a couple of months ago, and I'm enjoying it, still playing it. Not like hardcore or anything, but just keeping the account going. If you lose, if you don't complete you know, the whatever you're working on, you don't lose your energy.
That's cool.
That's pretty awesome. Like, you
Right.
can try new things. Oh, and here's another one. They have a test for like clan boss and stuff. So you don't lose your key if you want to try a new comp, or you don't have to stop it, or, you know, shut it right down right before it ends. Like, just little things that just, you know, I think they could add that stuff and you wouldn't even think about these other things. And you won't have to even worry about it, right? So but yeah, the way Raid is set up right now, you lose your energy if you get RNG'd. That sucks. Especially if you're running, you know, you're running like double dungeons, so you're running 40 energy instead of 20, and you just see that pop. You're like, oh my god. Not only did I just lose the tournament points, I just lost 40 energy on this. Like, it sucks. Definitely sucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a third of the pot too, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah. When we do the multi battles, that's a huge thing. That is 100% a huge thing. I actually went up against him. I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago,
Jeez.
and I won, and I was like, yes, let's go.
Oh, beautiful.
Polymorph
Yeah.
procced. I was happy for PvP.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
see?
So,
RNG.
yeah, I think PvE wise, it definitely needs to go. PJ, did I get you?
No, not yet.
All right, what you got to say, bro?
Yeah, I definitely agree with pretty much what everyone's saying so far. For PvP, I definitely understand it, giving the smaller account a chance to win. But for PvE, yeah, it's gotta go. It's pretty much there just for Polarium to screw us. Like, no one's gonna build a comp to win based on the 3%. Like, it's just so dumb. It's there to make you waste your resources. It's there to make you spend more money. There's no benefit to the player base in PvE for 3%. Like, I can't think of one. Unless someone else has a benefit for 3% in PvE, but like, it's only there to screw us,
Right.
which sucks. Like, it doesn't, like, nothing to help us with it. So I think, yeah, they should really change, especially with these long-term fights. The thing about Clan Boss, and the really nice thing about our Demon Lord Clan Boss, is there's like no RNG. It's very straightforward. Outside of like the debuffs and buffs landing, I think that's like the best part. You can set up a speed tune and it will work every single time. Versus Hydra and Chimera, where there's so much RNG, there's so much to go wrong, and one little thing that goes wrong ruins the entire run. So yeah, I think it'd be amazing step for the game to get rid of 3% in PvE.
Okay. So let's say Plarium says, "Hey guys, we hear you about the 3%, but we still want that element in there because it helps us monetize the resources that you guys use, right? We still need that, just that little bit." What number of a percentage should they bring down the RNG to on PvE content? Ken.
I mean, 0.00000000001%.
He's like 100 zeros,
I mean,
100 zeros, then 1.
yeah, you asked number, man. There we go. You know
Okay.
what? I bet this gonna proc still, man, on this game. There is something wrong on the percent on this game. I'm telling you.
Okay. Listen, I want to be realistic here, and I think, you know, a 0.05% chance I could be okay with. I think that is fine, and that still gives them a little bit there, right? We wouldn't think about a 0.5% being a big problem. Gessel, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, come down from 3. I guess if we have to give like a number that would make a little bit of sense, it'd have to be 0.5 or 1%, right? You go any
Okay.
lower than that, then like why even add it? I kind of feel like so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think zero's better. Honestly, just go to 0. But yeah, I would say if they were gonna lower it, I think I would be happy with 1%, 0.5. It's definitely 0.5 would be better.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
I would try to make a deal. I don't know. I would say if they could remove it from Clan Boss completely, like Demon or Chimera, and take it out of that completely, and they could leave it at 3% for the dungeons. I like the dungeons. I feel like it's annoying, but it doesn't happen that much.
I don't know,
But
man. I mean, I
the
would be
long
more.
fights.
I would be in favor for the opposite, to be quite honest. Because there's in dungeons, there's more chances for you to fail and waste energy because you're spending more. For an example, trying to go for this Packmaster, right? A lot of us would be spending. If we lose, 20 out of, I don't know, let's say 500, that's a lot of points that could have been used for that event, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it more of like a time point. Like I'm putting an hour into Chimera for the last Viper form to ruin the run, and then you have to like restart, or you're halfway through Hydra, and they steal your Titus's shield, and you have to redo it. Like, that's a lot of time.
That pisses me off. Like, I will tell you, I almost came this close, guys, this week to just smashing my computer. Because that happened to me. Like I got my Titus shield all up. I want to say like an hour in, I got my run. Mischief had just strips the shield, and I'm like, he's not even my target for the Mischief tank, right? I like brought like an Emic with lightning cage on, and Zero, what about you, man? What would be the ideal
0%.
number?
0%. I'm not giving them any, because I think customer satisfaction needs to be taken into account.
Okay, fair.
I mean, they've added so much to the game. Like, to their credit, they've added so much to the game. Like, why make us feel like we're banging our head against the wall? What, are you going to make us waste 20 energy or 40 energy? How about we just quit the game and never give you another penny? You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. If people are that upset about it, you know what I mean?
I mean, there is a huge element in how and if we land things based on the champion's skill kit, right? A lot of champions on the A1 have a 25% or a 50% chance to land or not land it, which if you take that 3%, it's, 22%, 47% to land it when it's fully booked. So I get it. Okay.
Also, affinity factors in too. Like that's another
true.
part. Like
that's true. Jay, what about?
Yeah, and I'm actually, that's funny because I'm running Teox and Crockmore against stage 20 of Dragon right now, which is blue affinity, and it's like, oh my god, they're weak hitting. This is so slow.
That's we already got that to hurt us. So then it's like so that's what 35%, and then so you have 35% chance to weak hit plus the 3% chance to whatever. So now you're at what 38% chance of doing nothing, pretty much. Like,
right. Jay, what about you?
I mean, if I would love it to make it 0, but then all the, if we were back in the days before we had champions that were unresistible, it would make more sense to make it 0. But then they'd only be usable in PvP to be unresistible, right? So to still balance that out, you'd have to make some percentage. So I think it would be fair. Void champions are void of affinity, so they would have like a 0.5. Chance to get resist, and then all affinity champions would have like a 1%, would be way better than a 3. This would still make it balanced so that champions who have unresistible stuff have a purpose, right? Otherwise, they'd have to change all their kits, right? Or add some other system to make it more balanced. So I think it should be 0.5 for voids and 1% for affinity champions.
Okay. And I'm reading here, Garrett Muffins makes a really solid point. We got to put 4 or 5 legendary books and a legendary champion to get 100%, but is not really 100, it's 97%, right? And so sometimes we find ourselves booking, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've done it. I mean, I don't know if I should be ashamed of this or not, but I did book, I hate how they added that on the top. They really messed me up with that. I did book my Dang, right? So I can get the extra proc at the Fear on the A2. And I mean, where are you going to use this guy, right? But I needed him for Centranos. I needed him for Faction Wars. So I ended up putting books into him to get it. And it's still not 100%. It's 97%. So I get it. And I think there is a lot of arguments to be made to just remove the 3%. I would just urge Plarium, listen, if you're not going to remove it, just at least lower it down. You know, 0.5%, no one's going to mind. No one's going to notice. No one's going to think about it. So if it's a 99.5% chance for us to do something or land something, I think that's acceptable. That still gives you something and makes you look good, you know, for the community. Let's talk a little bit about, should pay-to-win players who are spending thousands of dollars in this game be able to bypass all of the RNG in this game, whether it's from shards, whether it's from gear. I mean, people get frustrated that they spend hundreds, thousands of dollars in this game and they can't get champions that they need or can't get gear that they need to build those champions. I'm going to ask, I know Ken's free to play, so I'm going to start off with you first. Do you think that whales, krakens, pay-to-win players should have a lower chance at the RNG or should be able to buy a better chance of the RNG?
No, definitely
Okay.
not. Like we talked about that before. Like there was a content creator who was that quit the game because he didn't put Taras after spent like, I don't know, Machan, I think.
Yeah, Mac-chan.
Right? Yeah, Machan. He got
Spent
mad.
like
he got angry.
$4,000.
Yeah, okay, like here's the thing, like you spent 4,000. Okay, like he was saying like Plarium released like, I think I remember that. He said that Plarium released like Taras $1,000 I'm gonna buy. I mean, you are
Yep.
gonna buy, your enemy's also gonna buy, man. Like what's gonna be change on you?
Yep.
Like what kind of logic on you? Like everybody on at your level, at your spending level, going to buy that. So all you guys going to see, like especially on the live arena, whoever plays the best champion first then, right? I mean, everybody have the champion. Like, I mean, what's the point to play in the game like that? It's not fun at all to.
Well, I get that, but I guess maybe I should give a specific example on an area that it should be done, right? So we currently have the current 25X and you have FINA, right? You could sit here and you could pull, and I think a great example was when we had the French content creator, I forget what his name was. He pulled, I think it was like 7,000 ancients, right? And there was a boosted chance to get Kymar. And he pulled some stupid amount of legendaries and only pulled like 4 or 5 copies of Kymar. Which didn't even add to the 10%. Should there be a metric in there that after a certain point, they are able to acquire this champion, right?
Look, I will accept they need to increase this ratio, 15x, like even 25x, because they keep releasing the champion over time. It's not noticeable in my opinion. I agree they should be increase this number, but guarantee is the other way, man. Like guarantee only if you spend money is the another thing. Like if they do like guarantee after you pull like 200 shard or stuff like that for ancient, or like 200 maybe it's like guarantee, right? Everybody can. Maybe 300, maybe 400, like even free to play people can save their shard for that. But I totally disagree.
Right. Okay.
It's straight pay to get, bro. It's straight pay to get. Like.
Yeah, I think it definitely is very disheartening when you're going for some of these events. And I mean, a great example would be, you know, I put 10,000 energy into speed gear, right? The last 10x, 2x speed or 3x speed, sorry. I literally got 15 pieces of speed gear that had a speed substat. And out of those 15 pieces, not a single one rolled anything than a double, right? So I basically sold all of them. And I feel like at that point, it's like, okay, 10,000 energy, and I couldn't even get a single damn upgrade. Jay, what about you? What do you think, man?
Yeah. As someone who has pulled a lot of shards, and not voids, mostly ancients and sacreds and mysteries, I will say definitely. I have played a lot of games that have guaranteed champions. Ones where you can lose like you're 50-50, right? And then you can actually then you're guaranteed the next one. So if you were like in raid, if you reach the 25x, then you would guarantee get yourself the next pull would be a legendary, right? Would be nice to have that in raid so you can max it out and be like, well, I didn't get the champion along the way, but now I could get it at the end, right? Especially because I just watched a video from Papa Drog pulling a ridiculous amount of ancients and still didn't get it. And this is his second video, by the way, trying to get Fina. So it's a little too crazy.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I really want to go for this because I know this is about the only chance I'm going to do it. But I think back to Aislinn. You know, Aislinn was literally almost $3,000. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know? Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah, just I get it. They have to market certain characters and they have to make some profit and stuff. It just I feel it would be a little bit less. Other games, like I could spend 100 and I get what I want. I get the character. Another game on free to play just saved a lot of summons. I get what I want as a free to play player. But here it's like, man, you could spend, you don't even know what it could be. It could be 1 shard or it could be 5,000. It's a little too much, like the RNG is a little too crazy. At least have some fillers in between. It's like, okay, you lost 2. Okay, we're increasing it a big amount, and it gets better and better. Not just, well, keep going and see what happens. Like, it's just not good. It definitely needs to be adjusted.
Right. Zero, what about you?
Yep. Probably going to date myself here, but I think absolutely not when it comes to pulling shards or any of this stuff. I think what they have is a good design. And why do I say that? Now, again, I could hear the argument. Maybe the progressive has like 25 is really like 6% or 7%. And as they keep adding more and more champions to the game almost monthly, right? Like that percentage gets lower. It's like maybe, understand getting a little bit better percentage from that perspective. I'd be in favor for that. But the RNG on pulling this stuff needs to stay the same. And here's why I say that is because I've been playing collectible trading card games since 1995. Like I was Magic the Gathering and revised, moved over to the Star Wars trading card game by Decipher, which was amazing. And Decipher as a company that's a tragic story where the family member like stole all the money from the company, and that's a whole thing. But anyway, the Star Wars trading card game was amazing and I loved it, but not a lot of people got to play it after Decipher went under. And I will tell you what happened. I was like, you know what? I want to recreate. So someone took I don't know if y'all have seen it, but like there's basically a platform. It's basically like a playing table. It's a virtual card table, and then people would basically recreate the cards in digital format, and then you can go and build your decks and go match up someone and go play them. And I was like, oh, I'm going to build my decks that I pulled, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, not thousands, spent hundreds of dollars of collecting the cards, and I'm going to build my original decks and get to play them again and have that nostalgia. As soon as I jumped in and did this, everybody had access to however many cards that they wanted to have. So they would just build these mega, insane, unbeatable decks because they had access to every single game or every single card in the game. And it completely destroyed the game and destroyed all the fun for me personally. So seeing that happen in life, I think that would be exactly what would happen to this. If everybody could get every champion that they wanted in the game, it would destroy the game.
So
personally.
I just got a call from Plarium and they said you're never getting your Harima.
I may never get that. I may never get the Harima. I may never get the Siffy. I mean, like, yeah. And the longer we play, the harder those champions are to get. it is what it is. But does that mean that everybody in the game gets a Harima and then you always have to fight a
Well,
Harima?
we're not talking about everybody in the game, but we're
fun.
talking about spenders, right? Heavy spenders that are going in, dropping 2-3 grand on the game.
Same thing. I could go buy $1,000 worth of trading cards and only get this one rare card and only have one copy of it. But I would love to build a deck that had 4 copies of it, which is, the rules of the game. But I can't do that if I don't spend $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever. But I could, if everybody had access to it, or all those pay to win people had access to all the best champions, especially the free to play players, it would be a real kick in the balls because again, they would feel like it's hopeless to play the game.
Okay. Gestel, as somebody who's a heavy spender in primals, what would you say?
I'm kind of the same boat as everyone else. It's kind of similar to the topic of trading champions. That seems to come up a lot in my chat when I'm streaming. People want to be able to trade champs, and I'm just like, okay, well then you're just gonna people are just gonna start creating 1,000 accounts and pulling all the free shards, trying to get that one champ, and then trade it to their account. Then you just have everybody. Like it doesn't. I don't. I just feel like it takes the thrill of the chase out of it if you're just gonna get whatever you want to get every time. Obviously, I would love it. I would love to have Galathir. I would love to have Nice. I would love to have all these champs that destroy me constantly in live arena, and would help me tremendously in other areas of the game. But I don't know. I just understand the game. I understand how it works, and like what Zero said. I feel like it would really break the game, especially I seriously have zero. I throw a little bit of money. I'm certainly not even close to what the guy some of these guys are. Some of these accounts I've seen are crazy. But I seriously have no sympathy for the people that overspend in this game. You're all hopefully adults that are spending your hard-earned money, in the place you want to spend it. And you hopefully are also smart enough to know that you're throwing it at digital pixels, not, I don't know, like food or shelter or like a retirement fund or something like that. So, I just hope that people that are spending the money on this, I just hope that they're smart enough and they know what they're getting into, because this is a gotcha. This is a gambling. This is basically a gambling site. So
right. And I mean,
yeah,
it's what everybody's got to keep in mind when it comes to dropping money into raid is you don't own your account. You basically rent your account from raid. So if they just, you know what, we're done, or we need to, we want to ban you, they can, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? They own the account. You have no rights to the game or anything like that. It's in the TOS. So yeah, even though we know that, based on there, and I think Bick was the one that brought this up to me, that based on the sale to MTG, this game is not allowed to fail until 2028. So we know we're at least going to have 3 more years of Raid Shadow Legends, or 2.5. What happens after that, we don't know. Hopefully it stays. That said, PJ, what about you? Should pay-to-win players, whales, krakens, be able to buy their RNG?
No. No, terrible. I think like what a lot of these guys said, it would ruin the chase, it would ruin the hunt. I think if everyone got exactly what they wanted, it would be fun for a little bit of time, then everyone would get bored because there'd be nothing to really go for. I think that they have something in the game that they just don't really utilize as much as they should, which is the token trader. Like that is a way of getting a guaranteed champion, like who you want. But
well, hold on. It's 8 legendaries you gotta, or 6 legendaries you gotta put in. Like if it was a 1-to-1 trade or a 2-to-1 trade, I could see that. But 6-to-1 trade.
I mean, I'm not finished yet.
Okay, sorry.
Like I said, like they're not utilizing it in the proper way. Like it takes 3 months to reset or whatever it is, or I don't know how long it is, 6 months, 3 months. And they're overpriced. But if you got to pay for if you want something, you got to pay for it. Like if you really want that Duchess, then you got to save up your 6 legendary dupes and you get your Duchess. Like we can't have everything. We can't have it easy and guaranteed. So yeah, I mean maybe they could adjust it a little bit, but it's a guaranteed champion. So I think if they would work on the token trader more and refresh it more, maybe have more options there, it would be a better success.
And I guess at this point, what I really would love to see is an implementation of, you know what, if you're going for a progressive chance, you should, at a specific point of pulling so many shards, there's so many champions, like after your 5th legendary or your 4th legendary, you automatically get that headliner champion that you're searching for. Because at that point, it's either RNG, which they've implemented and feel it's adequate enough, or you have gotten enough champions, you've spent enough on these shards to be able to buy that champion, right? And I would say, I think you're all, or you guys would all be in favor of a system like that, where after, you know, you pulled your 4th, 5th legendary champion, you get that headliner champion. I think that would be a great feeling for everybody, and kind of encourage people maybe to spend if they know that that's what's going to happen. Would you guys support something like that, PJ?
Not really. It's kind of like the same thing that you were talking about. Just you have to spend X amount to get the champion you want.
Right, but I mean, you know, either it's based off the RNG that Plarium has put in, right? Which Plarium feels like the percentage that you have to get that specific legendary champion is okay, or after, you know, you've bought $1,000 or, you know, 1,000 primals, you get that targeted champion. You don't think that that would be a better idea for the player base?
Not
and I know
really,
I phrased it in a little way that might make you sound bad. But
yeah, not really, because you're kind of encouraging spending. And no, I think it's the RNG again. Like, I think if, like, that's what people like. People like going for the shiny things, and that would also really separate the free-to-play to spenders. I mean, holy schmoly, if you're just guaranteed to get whatever you want if you spend $1,000, whatever, like, people are gonna go crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's the same thing we were just talking about earlier. Like, it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be that good.
Okay. Guess so. Would you support an implementation at that point, whether it's like your 4th or 5th legendary, you get, you know, or mythical or, you know, whatever, you get that particular champion as opposed to, you know, this? Because, I mean, let's think about it, guys. A guaranteed legendary champion usually now goes, I mean, we've got Packmaster for 17. If you wanted to go for a specific legendary champion, you could be spending more with this system, right? So the whales would be spending more. Sorry, Gessel, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with PJ really. I don't want to give any more incentive for people to spend money in this games, and I certainly don't want to give the whales or the Krakens bigger advantage over me. Like I you know, in live arena, you know, like all I do is face the big, not certainly not recently, but when I'm like really into live arena, I'm facing all those big boys, right? Like I don't want to give them more of like a better advantage. They've already got the advantage. Like I'm going to give them even more an advantage because like I've essentially, you know, I'll throw a little bit here and there, but I've essentially stopped spending at this game. You know, like 2 years, like whenever Soulstones came out, I've essentially stopped spending. You know, compared to how it used to be. So I can't compete, and I'm not going to compete. Like I just decided, like when Soulstones came out, I'm like, I can't compete. I can't keep up with these big pocketbooks. I'm not going to keep up. You know, like I just made a decision. I got my account. This is what I'm going to roll with. Hopefully, it continues to grow. I enjoy the game. I don't need to have every champ. Is basically what I decided.
Okay.
So I just, I don't want to give, I don't I don't feel like we got to give the Krakens and the whales more. I don't. I think it's good. I think they do a good job in this game of guaranteeing, and this is what I do love about this game, and kind of these games in general. They give you like when new champs come out, they give you the chance to get that new champ. Now, if you missed out on that, or if you haven't been playing for as long, that's just the way it is. You miss out on that champ. But like they do give you chances. Obviously not the best ones, and not the mythicals typically, but yeah, they do give you shots for the champs. As long as you keep playing, you typically can come across them. So I think the way they have it is fine, honestly. I don't think they need to give the whales anything extra. They're good.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind a little adjustment on like the chances of things. I feel like the 2%, 4%, maybe they could raise it
Oh,
up a little
yeah.
bit
And
more.
they could certainly make the 15, 20, 25x
Yeah, stuff
way
like that,
better.
yeah.
They could certainly improve on all of that stuff, but
Mhm.
just guaranteeing if you spend $1,000, here's the champ. Like I'm not down with that at all. Like ever, really.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with these guys. Again, I think we could adjust the percentage to account for the newer champs in the game. And I do think, and I know we did a whole episode on the ability to trade champions. So going back to my trading card analogy, where I could spend X amount of money to get and try to build a deck, but say, oh, I really need 3 versions of this really awesome card. Well, I could take my binder into the the card shop or whatever and be like, hey, Gessel, can I see your binder? Oh, you got the 3 copies of the thing I need. Do you want it? Do you want them? No. Well, here, go through my binder and pick out a whole bunch of compensating cards to make up for that, right? So, PJ's got 2 Altans. He'll trade someone for a Harima, right? So,
Oh yeah, 3 actually. I had one before that too.
yeah, 3 Altans for Harima. Who wants to do the trade? But
Step right up.
yeah, I wish it would kind of do something like that. I know they probably never will, and that would be really probably hard to code the game. But that would bring more of a community sense around this game. I'd be more in favor of something like that to try to get the champs you could get or that you want or need to build certain comps out and stuff, versus you're guaranteed to get it if you spend X amount of dollars. Yeah, no, keep it RNG from that perspective.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
So I mean, me personally, I think a lot of the systems needed to be changed because I know we were saying like, well, some people want it to be RNG like pull, but every game has different things. Like different games have different banner systems. Games have like a mercy, like where you can guarantee like a threshold system. This might be a little bit kind of wake up call, but fusions and fragment summons, we actually work for it to get something, right? Other games, you just pull and you get what you want, and if you lost, you got something else, but you still got something. This is one of the few games where you actually have to work and work and work to get stuff. I play other games totally free to play, and I go, let's RNG and see if I get it. And sometimes I get it within the first 10, and sometimes I get screwed and I lose my 50-50, and I have to skip it and wait till the next time it comes up, like 5 months later. But this is one of the only things where it's like, dang, everything that I have, I've worked crazy and put so much time to get the gems, and they're not even that crazy. And for someone to think like, well, we don't want to give the players that let's say shards, you can get whatever you want, it's going to break the game. It actually doesn't, because the other systems, like the other games, they basically, that's how it is. Like either if you're lucky, right, and you get every single one, and you don't lose 50-50s, or you get it within the first 10, you have everything. You still can't build everything, right? You still need some form of Lego book, or you still need resources, which requires you to spend or save and wait for like months to use it. So it doesn't really break the games, because I played 7 different games and I've seen every single one. And I feel like when it comes to raid, like I get it. It has lots of different ways to summon, but there needs to be a little bit. What happened to, first of all, remember back in the days we had guarantees, right? When Shadow King came out, we had tons of guaranteed this, Lady Kimmy, this character, and they just like stopped it and halted it. And they're like, wait, you know what? We're giving it too much. Let's find ways where we can monetize and certain other shards. Did you know that other games have their void characters and their like affinity characters mixed into the same pool? Raid has them separated. So now you have to get another shard. It's just like, what? It's crazy. To the customer or to the person summoning, you just have different ways to get kicked. And I honestly, like, I do it because, of course, the events because of fragment summons and the fusions. That's the only reason why I summon. But in terms of summoning, trying to go like, yeah, let's summon, I don't even get excited. I only get excited on other games because you could get lucky within the first 10 and get doubles and crazy. So I think it needs a lot of changing to the summoning system, in my opinion.
Okay. And last but not least, Ken, what do you think?
I mean, I still think in the same man. I disagree with you. Like, let me give you an example. Actually, like, let's say you go Vegas. Maybe Gestal can confirm, but you sit down on the slot machine. Okay, you play that like 100 times, and you are gonna say, "Bro, I played that 100 times. I need to win this now. You need to give me guarantee victory. Give me $1 million." Like, does that make sense to you?
I mean, we're I
spent
would
50K,
beg
give me like
I would beg I would make the point that casinos are not a game, and as some I will tell you, like, I am not a gambling person, although this game is
I'm also not gambling person.
this game
I'm
is
F2P,
different.
bro. Like even on the like Gamba game, I'm F2P.
But I will say, like, it pays you out as opposed to paying you out in something in game that you could enjoy with. I see some difference there, but yeah, I get everybody's point, and I guess I just think of it as a game that's got so much of a variety and champions that there are some champs that, like that Teox, like I said, this is very, very tempting, and that I would, but then I think about, again, Aislinn type of situation. So I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do it, maybe there's a common ground. And maybe the common ground is that the boosted percentage chances are increased, right? I mean, it did take them how many years to get the 15x and the 25x progressive chance before they implemented it in. So it still can be adjusted, and I feel like it should be adjusted. But there's other games, like I believe Watcher of Realms has it, that you're guaranteed to get a particular champion when you're pulling for them, if you've pulled a certain amount of champions. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it works. But maybe it's just not for raid, right? That would or possibly could ruin the ecosystem that they have.
Hey Blazin, as someone who has both Aislinn and Teox hands down, it's 1,000 times better than Aislinn. Just so you're aware.
As somebody who's got Taurus, Marichka, and Kaja, I can tell you, go suck it.
Just saying, Teox is way better than Aislinn, so you won't be disappointed.
I know. I just can't. I don't know. I did the events. I did both of the events for it. I got myself a Basilisk, and I got myself another Python, and I was like, I saw the legendary, and I was like, ooh, will it be him? And I'm like, nope. So yeah, I'm trying to get a more, less American Express play style, maybe. I mean, great example, and this will show you guys that I have not spent for a while on this game. My packs are down to $14.99. If you look at my limited offers, I mean, I don't even know why this is still there, but like, where is it? $24. I mean,
yeah, I'm in the same place.
It shows you I'm down to the $5 and $10 here, so I have reeled it back. Jay touched on a really, really good point here, just a little bit, where we invest so much time and energy in raid, where it feels like a full-time job. And again, I just want to give a shout out here to Dingo, who literally spent hours putting in those 3 Chimera key or 3 Hydra keys, and Bronco as well too. I can't imagine spending 40 plus 50 plus hours a week working. My typical day at UPS is like an 11-hour day. I come home, I want to decompress, I want to play raid. Granted, there's other things that frustrate me about it, but I have to invest so much time in to, be competitive. So at the end game, it's literally, do you play raid or do you work? And the fusions especially are so, FOMO that you feel like you have to be on here all the time. And I want to kind of bring light to this and urge Plarium, we need more quality of life features to bring this down, right? I get that you want to have a dynamic game, but at some point, the burnout is real, okay? So many clashes, so many events that we have to do, so many things, fusion after soulstone, to go after and chase, it becomes a burnout. And I feel for the longevity of the game, this cannot happen. I will tell you, as somebody who played World of Warcraft for 10 plus years, I love the game. But when it came time to either having a family or the game, guess which one won? It was not World of Warcraft, right? So with that said, do you guys feel at this point raid is more work than your full-time job in real life? Chat, I want to hear from you guys. And then Zero, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so many of you know that I just actually got a new job and I start August 25th. And I've been, I've had the luxury of being able to work from home really for these last 3.5 years, right? And raid's one of those things, and that's kind of how my buddy Chuck, who got me to play it back in 2022, he's like, "Hey, no, it's cool, man. You just throw it in the background, and you can just kind of run it in the background." But like even when you do that, you do have to kind of just watch out for it here or there and kind of stuff. So in the new job, I'm going to be commuting, and so that's going to obviously increase my work time to just get to work, and then of course completely remove me from the ability to do that for 10 hours a day. So I'm a little bit concerned from that perspective, because yeah, it is one of those things. And then if anything else in life pops up during that meantime, um like last night, like I said, I was playing a few other things just to take me away from raid for a few hours and really enjoying being able to do something else. But while we're doing this 2-hour podcast, I can sit, I can set this and run it, right, and go collect these prisms for the dragon, was what I'm doing. And again, I'm not using any of my time to play the game, but this would be time that I would not necessarily be able to monitor it, right? And then of course, all of us in some form or fashion do content, right? Like some of us stream, some of us obviously do the YouTube, some of us do both, and so you start stacking in all that stuff together. Like I'm worried about Zero Brew's future. We'll see, but I think to go back to your original thing, yes, we do need more quality of life things. And I will say the one thing that's really frustrating me: faction wars, Chimera, the changes they just made to Chimera. I had all my teams good to go. I could set them, forget them. I get enough numbers, and now I'm failing 9 out of 10 times, and that's 2 or 3 hours of time that I didn't have to spend prior to those changes. If they keep doing stuff like that to make it more challenging or harder for the player base, you're gonna see a little bit less of Zero Brew, because I just don't have the time.
Right. And I will tell you, as one of the officers in the clan, if you can't do your 6 billion Hydra Clash, I'm going to kick your ass. I'll come down to, I won't kick you out of clan. I'm going to come down to Texas, kick your ass. And then after that, we'll go get a beer together.
Bring it on. You're going to get 2 or 3 billion, and that's about it. I'm telling you now.
Well, you've already done a billion, so... Jay, what about you, man? Does raid feel like a full-time job or more than your full-time job?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I only work 40 hours at my job. I put a lot of work into raid in Discord, on Twitch, on YouTube, and other people's Discords. Yeah, I put probably 50, 60 hours into just raid. I had to double it down. That's why I'm playing other games now, because it was just too much. I was getting burnt out, man. I was like, bro, I almost quit twice last year. So like, I was just like, I can't, it's too much, right? So, but now that I've been playing other games, it really does give me appreciation for everything else other than raid. Because I'm like, damn, raid could have this. Raid could be this. And I've always wanted raid to be that #1 game. But they always, they have their business practice of what they want to focus on. And that thing is not what I really want to focus on, because I don't benefit from it. So, but yeah, like, I just still like to play the game, and I We'll see where it goes, man. It is a full-time job for me. I put about 40 to 50. I only put like, exactly 39 and 40 55 59 in my job. They don't make us work a minute over, and they don't let us work a minute under. It literally has to be on the 40. If you're over, the HR gets involved. It's so strict, it's so stupid. And you have to be like, you have to use PTO, you have to call out or something. They're like, for a minute. It's so dumb. But maybe because of the way they pay or something. But yeah, raid is a full-time job. And all these, I wish, maybe they had some easier strategies of not having to do every freaking fusion, every fragment summon. This previous one was really good, and the previous one as well looked pretty good with the fragment summons, but fragment summons will always be easier. Hopefully they could double down on the FFSs. I don't mind traditional fusions, but fragment fusion summons, man, FFSs, they're so cancer. Because if you miss an epic or if you miss an event, you might have to swipe. So hopefully Plarium can actually adjust a little bit of those points or stuff.
Right. So for anybody who actually played World of Warcraft, you would know that this /playtime, once you hit it and you sent it in, would give you how many hours you have played Raid Shadow Legends. Chat, just give me an estimate on how many hours you think your account has had since you've created it.
Can I just say something that just real fast on what JR said? Yeah, same thing with me with the contract. Like, I can only work 40 hours a week, and I'm going to be quote unquote salary with this new thing. And I know my 40-hour work week where I just roll out of bed and go to work is going to turn into 50, 55 hours. So like I stream that much in a week, right? So yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I could only imagine, if this, and I would love to see what Plarium would say on our request to have this put in, just to see how much time, because I know a lot of you guys, for Ken, I mean, he streams it for 6+ hours a day sometimes, right? I could only imagine how much time people would have put in. And OBVTB, yes, you are famous, sir. You are showcased on the Knights of Teleria podcast. PJ, what about you, man?
Yeah, this game, I think you get what you put into this game as far as time. Like, you can spend a lot of time in this game, and I feel like if you're more casual, it can be a very casual game. Depends on like what you're looking for. Like, you can get, if you're looking for a super competitive clan, you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day on this game. Or if you want to play more casually, you can log in, do some dailies, log off, quick battle, like, so I think that's one factor that goes into it. But I do think there are things in the game that they should definitely speed up. I think Doom Tower is a big thing that we've talked about. Make silver keys instant. Just stuff like that would, I think, help save some time in the game. The other thing is that I think a lot of people play this. I'm not sure actually, but I wonder how many people play this game as their only game and don't play anything else. Because it is a game that you can just run on the side. You can run it on your phone if you have a PC and play something on a PC. If you have multiple monitors, you can have it on something else on the side. So like, you don't necessarily have to play it as like the only thing. So, and that aspect is kind of nice. But yeah, I think overall, especially if you're a late in the game player, the time is getting kind of ridiculous how much you got to spend in game if you want to compete at like a high end. If you want to be casual, then obviously that's different. But if you're talking about a high end player, it's getting up there.
I mean, you can play the game like
that
this. Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, no, and he said instant keys, and I know we have that with Clan Bells and Hydra and stuff like that too. I wouldn't mind if they would just stack the keys, right? If we could just run all 15 silver keys and Doom Tower as one key, that'd be awesome. Same thing with Iron Twins. If we could just stack all 6 of those keys and run it once and be done with it, that'd be nice. And that would save probably, I don't know, 30 minutes of just running the game in the background, right?
Right.
Just on that alone.
Yeah, I mean, you could run like this. You could run, 10 accounts on the side, play your main account, and then even play Godforge on the other side. Yeah,
no.
My PC would be exploded.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad. Gessel, what about you, man?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm like I really love this game for the lack of attention I have to pay to it, but I do stream 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I am typically paying full attention to the game. So that is a lot of time, right, that I put into the game. Um, so I don't know. I think PJ just put it well. Like you really don't have to put a lot of time into this game. You could open it up for 5 minutes, knock out your clan boss, knock out just your dailies, and be done. Or yeah, high end. Like now I'm in a bigger clan. We're talking about siege for tomorrow night and placement for that and what type of teams. Like that all adds extra time, and I'm trying to do better in Chimera. That extra adds extra time. So it does add up, right? But it is what you make of it. And a lot
Right.
of this is once you've made the team, it's kind of like set it and forget it. You can just let it
Unless you're
run.
running a
Not
manual
always.
team. Unless you're running a manual team, because then
Exactly. Not
you're,
always.
you're looking to push harder.
Yeah. But again, PJ, bro, you pretty much said everything I said. This has always kind of been my side piece. Like this has always been like my second game. I'm always playing something else and having this run in the background, running auto battles or whatever it is. That's what I love about this game. I love that I can put it down. I could go away last weekend, not even look at the game, and not the end of the world. Came back and it was the same place it was. When I was gone. Obviously, I played when I was there, but like I not sat down on my computer and played. Um, so it's that's what I like about it. Honestly, that's what I like about it.
Okay.
I,
I mean,
I will say the one crappy thing now with live arena though, and I have a crappy win rate compared to you guys on the stream, but like that requires that's a huge time sink.
Huge time sink, and it sucks to play on mobile, bro. I tried playing it in my hotel room on my little
Clicking the wrong
phone.
things.
Bro, I can't even tell who I'm facing. Like they got Veil, they got like all the like who do I target? I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
yeah.
It's a lot better to play on the PC.
I do say that there's a lot of things that should be, auto battled, quick battled. Curse City, if I've already beaten the stage on a single rotation, I should automatically be able to clear it. Doom Tower, same thing. I love the idea of putting all the keys into one. I mean, you do it with your faction wars, right? Like you can run all of your keys on this one. Why can't I do that there? That needs to be done. And a big thing is
that's
Chimera.
a huge improvement. They need credit. They need credit for that because that is nice to be able to run all three in one pop and be done with it.
Right. And Chimera, like last week, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Never got to it. All of a sudden, shit. Friday morning, I'm like, why didn't I get my Chimera rewards? Crap, I didn't run it. So it definitely, we do need a lot more quality of life features. I feel the biggest thing though, is the dungeon grind, right? For events like this, if I've got, 20, 30,000 energy, just auto, removing the 3%, just let me auto everything in the background. One and done. Let me just sink 10,000 energy into it and give me my rewards. I think that would be phenomenal for dungeons at least. But that said, we've got, we've talked about a lot of things, and I hope that Plarium kind of listens. We gave them a lot of solid ideas, some that were good, some that were bad, such as mine as the guaranteed champions after, pulling 4 or 5 legendaries. But we definitely gave you a lot of information to take in, a lot of feedback, and the community agrees with a lot of the stuff. So I hope that they do take a listen. That said, Ken, where can people come and find you?
Final Kenpachi, both YouTube and the Twitch. We are going live every day, guys, at the Clan Boss Reset. Thank you.
Awesome. Jay, where can people come and find you?
On both Twitch.tv and YouTube, JRStar3.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Hit me up on the YouTube, Zero Brew, and the Twitches, and I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Central Time.
Awesome. Gessel, where can people come and find you?
Yeah, Gessel Gaming. You can find me on YouTube and Twitches under that name. I stream Sunday through Friday, 2 to 7, pretty much every day. Except for
Awesome.
Saturday.
PJ, what about yourself? Where can people come and find you, brother?
MXPJE on Twitch and YouTube. We stream usually twice a day, every weekday. Come say what's up.
Awesome. Let's get some shout outs, and I'm going to have Gessel go first.
Yeah, asked to go first here. We have some really bad news. Member in the community, Lime Jerk, he hung out in my stream a ton years ago, and he started not coming around as much. And he told us that his son had gotten really sick with cancer. I'm not good at this stuff, guys. So here's a link. His son is terminal. It's a horrible story. Like, it should never happen to kids. So I don't know if you just want to go check it out. Just leave a message. You know, the positive energy can help. There is a GoFundMe or Give Send Go, one of those there. If you could help there. Obviously, not pushing that, but just life sucks sometimes, and if you can just send a message or just keep him in your thoughts and prayers, I think it's important. He's part of the community, and and that's tough. It's like I found out about this on Tuesday. I just can't stop thinking about it. So just send the positive vibes over to Lime Jerk and his family, and I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers do go out to Lime Jerk. I mean, it's the raid community is number one, and it definitely, when one person hurts, everyone feels the effect, right? So I love that about the community. PJ, what you got for a shout out, bro?
Yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers out to Lime Jerk and his family. Terrible, terrible news. We're going to be giving a shout out to Blue and P Phoenix. They're awesome. They're a streaming couple. They do all kinds of arena or raid stuff, live arena, whatever you name it in the game. They be doing it. They're good vibes. Good peeps over there. Definitely check them out. Give them a follow.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I mean, Lime Jerk, I also was seeing him last year. Like, I got this news last year. He told me that. I'm so sad that things didn't go well. Or praise are stay with him and his family. My shout out is the Pogo Pink time. He's also in the hospital right now. Hopefully we are going to get some good news from him. So make sure to follow him, guys. I'm going to give the link very, very soon.
Awesome. My union brother all the way out in California. Love him. Jay, what about you? What you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Definitely. Hope you get better, Pogo. Feel better. My shout out's gonna go to Big Papa Drock, or aka Big Papa Trump. There's impersonations are really good. Shout out to him.
Let's not get political. Zero, what about you?
Well, I was going to do Pogo Pink Tie because I already had it queued up, but also let's give it to our boy King Copium as well. He's newer to the community and has also been actually, I think he's officially the opposite of JR. So JR is every other week, so King's gonna fill that slot every other week. So let's give it out to our boy King Copium.
Correct, Mr. King Copium.
Or as you like to call him, Copium
King. King Copium is officially our 7th night of Teleria. He will be joining us on the weeks that Jay is out, and I am currently working on getting his shirt together. So
Jay, can you give him a shout out?
We can,
because someone didn't give me mod.
You don't have mod? I'm pretty sure you do.
No.
Well, we'll have to fix it. So yes, big shout out to Mr. King Copium. I've been hanging out in his Discord quite a bit lately, and things get real in there sometimes. So I would urge you guys to come and hang out in there quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. Is going to go out to DK Tanjiro, who is been hanging out on our stream quite a bit. He's been he's came on a couple of times to the podcast, and he is currently streaming, and we will be rating out to him. So when we go there, everybody wish him a happy birthday. Obviously it's not his birthday, but that's our thing from now on. That's it, guys. It has been a wonderful Sunday. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week for another episode of the Knights of the Teleria podcast. We've got a lot more things to discuss to improve Raid Shadow Legends for not just us, but for everyone, including Plarium. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other.